60 years, one absolute icon. Let's dive into the anatomy of the Porsche 911. Since it first hit the scene back in 1963, over 1.2 million of these legendary sports cars have rolled off the assembly line at Porsche's headquarters in Zuffenhausen. That's a staggering number, making it one of the best-selling sports cars of all time. But get this, its famous journey actually kicked off with a completely different name. Section 1. The birth of the 911. FA Porsche presents a brilliant new design to replace the 356, right? And originally, they marketed it as the Porsche 901. They even built over 80 examples. But then, Peugeot stepped in. The French automaker claimed they basically own the exclusive rights to any car name formed by 3 digits with a 0 right in the middle. So, rather than making a special name just for France, Porsche just pivoted globally. The 901 became the 911. Though, a fun little fact, internally, they actually kept using those 901 part numbers for years. Section 2. The engineering evolution. Across 8 distinct generations, the 911 has seen some massive leaps in engineering, but they've always managed to keep that core DNA intact. You know the look. Those perfect proportions, the sweeping lateral curves, the fastback roof, the 2+2 seating, and of course, the engine hanging all the way out in the rear. From the 1963 original, through the long-running G Series, the beloved 993, right up to today's ultra-modern Type 992, every single step has constantly pushed the boundaries of what a car can do. Now, if we're talking radical changes, we absolutely have to talk about 1997 and the Type 996. For over 3 decades, the 911 was famous for the raw, unmistakable sound of its air-cooled flat-six engine. But to hit stricter global emissions targets and squeeze out way more power, Porsche made the massive leap to a highly efficient water-cooled system. It was hugely controversial at the time. Purists were shocked. But honestly, it was vital for the 911 to survive and thrive into the 21st century. You can literally see the evolution in its footprint too. Today's Type 992 is significantly longer and wider than the 63 original, but it didn't just get bigger for the sake of it. That meticulously calculated growth in wheelbase and track width perfectly balances insane high-speed stability with the actual usable interior space that modern drivers demand. Section 3. The modern 911 lineup. Today, the 911 isn't just a single car, it's practically its own ecosystem, packed with 22 distinct model variants. It's like a giant, high-performance puzzle you get to solve for yourself. You pick a body style, the classic coupe, the cabriolet that drops its top in just 12 seconds, or the Targa with that iconic roll-bar glass roof. Then, you choose between a purist rear-wheel drive setup or a highly capable all-wheel drive system. Throw in the GT and turbo models, and you've got a matrix designed to build, literally, your perfect machine. Section 4. Performance by the numbers. And when the rubber actually meets the road, the numbers speak for themselves. Because at its heart, this is a purebred sports car. The base 3.0-liter Carrera hits 100 kilometers per hour in a blisteringly quick 3.9 seconds. Step into the uncompromising track-focused GT3 RS, and that drops to 3.2. But if you want ultimate pin-you-to-your-seat acceleration, the all-wheel drive Turbo S absolutely dominates, rocketing to 100 in an unbelievable 2.5 seconds. Oh, and that Turbo S doesn't just launch hard. Backed by a massive 650 horsepower engine, it boasts a staggering top speed of 330 kilometers per hour. To put that into perspective, it is the fastest production 911 ever made. It's a true engineering marvel. Section 5. A world-beating racing legacy. But look, you don't get that kind of bulletproof performance and reliability without a ruthless motorsport heritage. The track is where the 911 truly earned its stripes. We are talking about one of the most successful competition cars in human history. It conquered the grueling 24 Hours of Daytona overall in 1973, pulled off a wild hat trick on the ice and snow of the Monte Carlo Rally from 68 to 70, and utterly dominated the World Championship for makes in the late 70s. It proved, without a doubt, that a rear-engine layout could conquer any terrain and any circuit. In that racing DNA, it poured straight into the street cars. Take the famous ducktail spoiler, or Entenbürsel in German, from the legendary 1973 Carrera RS 2.7. This marked the very first time a production car ever utilized an integrated rear spoiler in its design. And it wasn't just to look cool. That lightweight car desperately needed crucial aerodynamic downforce to stay glued to the tarmac at high speeds. Racing literally dictated the design. When you boil it all down, the 911's magic lies in its dual nature. Ferry Porsche completely hit the nail on the head when he said, "The 911 is the only car that you can drive from an African safari to Le Mans, then to the theater, and onto the streets of New York. It's an unparalleled blend of extreme motorsport capability and reliable everyday utility. You can literally set a lap record on Sunday and pick up your groceries on Tuesday. But as the automotive landscape shifts faster than ever toward hybridization and electrification, we are left with a massive question. With new hybrid models on the horizon, how is the ultimate driver's car going to adapt? Will it be able to embrace this new tech while keeping that raw mechanical soul intact, the exact soul that made it a legend for the last 60 years? That is the ultimate test for the next chapter of the 911. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope you walk away with a whole new appreciation for an absolute icon.